And here's our focus in the biggest build-up to the inauguration of the Naya Sansad early tomorrow. In just a few hours from now, India is set to get its new state-of-the-art parliament building, which will be inaugurated by Prime Minister Modi. You've seen the pictures, viewers, and the videos, but ahead of the big event, let's take you inside the parliament complex, yes, virtually inside the new building, to get a glimpse of what it's like.
The moment that we've all been waiting for is finally here. The new parliament building and all set to be unveiled by the Prime Minister for the very first time. We're going to show you a glimpse, a first sneak peek into what you can find inside the parliament. Let's take you inside the parliament, a look at the Lok Sabha, a look at the Rajya Sabha and everything that the new building has to offer. Come with me. So now we're just entering the Lok Sabha. Now this is the Lok Sabha in all its glory. This is where the parliamentarians, the representatives of the people are going to be discussing key issues pertaining to the country. And fitting to that, look at this entire stretch. This is what it looks like, and the capacity is much bigger than the old parliament building. In the new parliament building, the Lok Sabha can have a seating capacity of 888. So here you have it around me. The number of seats that have been in the Lok Sabha have been increased manifold by 3 times the previous Lok Sabha. And there's a special theme to it as well if you observe it. It is the national bird, the peacock, that has been the theme of the Lok Sabha. Now, let's take you to the Rajya Sabha. Similar to the Lok Sabha, we have the seating arrangements here in the Rajya Sabha as well, much bigger than the current Rajya Sabha. It has a seating of 384 seats. And of course, here in the Rajya Sabha as well, the theme is slightly different. If it is the peacock in the Lok Sabha, in the Rajya Sabha, it is the lotus, the national flower that is the theme in the Rajya Sabha. A dream, a vision that the Prime Minister had for the entire country finally being opened up, and it's now been dedicated to the entire nation. So there we have it. We hope you like this exclusive tour of inside the Parliament building, and it was everything that you expected.
Now let's tell you about the controversy surrounding the sacred Sengol. A symbol of our Indic legacy, our freedom struggle has been at the forefront of a raging political storm. First, it was discarded as Nehru's walking stick. Then the symbolism of the sceptre was dissed as bogus. Now the slam Sengol lobby has taken it too far, as the CPM General Secretary Sitaram Yechuri linked the displaying of the sceptre to the monarchy, calling it symbolic return of the rule of Raja and Praja. In fact, it wasn't just the CPM but also the Congress that continues its salvo against the BJP, attacking the party for what they call was obfuscation of history for political gains.
Listen, don't go just on the basis of what WhatsApp University is spreading. And that is not something which is historically correct, which is being said by the BJP. It is not historically correct. And if anyone wants to prove that anyone was more loyal toward the country than the Congress party, people like Jawaharlal Nehru, who spent more than 10 years in prison, I'm sorry to say they are totally trying to mislead the people of this country.
अमित शाह कभी-कभी हमारा परंपरा का ठेकेदार बन जाता है। आज़ादी का एक भी नेता उसको पार्टी आरएसएस का नहीं है। आज़ादी का कोई भी एक बड़ा संघर्ष नहीं है जिसमें उसको भागीदारी है, तो इसलिए वो हड़पना चाहता है। अभी नेता नहीं है तो नेता हड़प लो, गांधी हमारा, नेताजी हमारा, ये सब हड़पने का काम कर रहा है। ऐसा ही है, कोई इतिहास को हड़पना है, गड्ढा खोड़ के कुछ निकाल रहा है नया दिखाने के लिए। ये नया जो ये तो साम्राज्यवाद का सिंबल है, ये सिर्फ एक जनता को धोखा देने का एक तरीका है, इसमें कोई सच्चाई नहीं है।
The BJP has lashed out at the Congress for denying the sacred sceptre its due. Listen in to the counter.
The Congress has a long history of obfuscating the truth. They will deny the truth. They will obfuscate the truth. They'll try and make it as hazy as possible and make sure people are distracted. But look, the facts are there for everybody to see, because there is a question that needs to be answered, which we will we certainly ask, the people of India will certainly ask them. Why did this very holy scepter, the Sengol, get hidden away in Anand Bhavan and be referred to as a walking stick of Nehruji? It is insulting. It insults a whole faith. It insults a whole people who believe that it is a very sacred symbol of a transfer of power.
कांग्रेस पार्टी जिस प्रकार से इसे बोगस बता रही है, ये अपमानजनक है। परंतु भारतीय संस्कृति का अपमान करना कांग्रेस की फितरत बन चुकी है। जिन लोगों ने तो श्री राम जी के अस्तित्व को नकारा, वो लोग आज शेंगोल के भी अस्तित्व को नकारते हैं। इसमें कोई हैरानी की बात नहीं है।
Let's open this up. Tejshri, our colleague, joining us from not very far from the Naya Sansad near Vijay Chowk. Tejshri, I'll come back to you. Neha Joshi of the BJP also with us. Nikhil Jain, political analyst. Good evening, all of you. Tejshri, tell us what you can see around you, because this is going to be, as it is a high security zone, but in a few hours from now, normal traffic will be restricted.
Well, of course, as you rightly pointed out, I am standing just few meters away from the new Parliament building, but talking about the preparations, because tomorrow the new Parliament building is all set to be inaugurated by the Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and straight away cutting across the visuals over here, I am presently standing at the Kartavya Path, which is beautifully decorated, adorned in fact just like a newlywed bride. And as of now, you can see these lights, these small lights, the big lights, and these all lights will be giving a very beautiful scenario over here when you will walk over here at Kartavya Path, from starting there from India Gate towards, if you go to North Block and South Block. So you see, when we spoke to the authorities over here, they told that this Kartavya Path has been adorned with 800 lights, major and minor.
Okay, there's an issue in that line, I think because of security reasons. Let's introduce viewers joining us now. Annapurna joining us from Bengaluru. Please go ahead. Good evening.
Hello. My parliament, my pride is the right word to say that the opposition has nothing on this to say I will boycott, because they are boycotting for 9 years. They are losing their time. We have sent those people to Sunset Bhavan to talk about our problem. They are always on the road. I think our Prime Minister has to inaugurate this along with the common man. And people who have built this building, they should inaugurate this building, sir. I definitely feel this should be the attitude. This attitude should go by the opposition, who are on the road for nine long years. None of the sessions have taken place. None of our question has been answered by those people. Whom have we elected? We are the people. We are the owners of this building, not the opposition. I think we are with the PM. Let him inaugurate this building.
Thank you, ma'am, for connecting and sharing your thoughts. Shankar now joining us from Bengaluru, sir. Good evening. Go ahead.
Good evening, sir. This is one of the brightest thing happening for India. Once in a decade, once in a century, and we 140 crore people of India are lucky to watch this tomorrow. And as far as opposition parties boycotting it, because they are boycotting it, they know that they will not be inside the parliament after the next election. Now it's time people of this India should see to it that none of these people get inside the parliament during 2024 elections. And as far as Sengol is considered, it is our custom, our tradition, and our
part of our culture.
Our culture,
right,
which has been completely forgotten by all of us. Thanks, Modi has come forward. He's like Swami Vivekananda coming over. Even Swami Vivekananda was, propagating Hinduism all over the world. So we have got a great leader like Modi, and
right,
we are lucky we are during his period.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts. Captain Jaspal now joining us from Rohtak. Captain Saab, good evening.
Parnesh, in Haryana there is a saying, रोता हुआ जाए मरे की खबर लाए.
They have been against this project from inception, inauguration, and now its opening. Secondly, it is good visual optics for the democracy of the country that the Italian blood will be missing. Thirdly, now the ball is in the public court. All these people who boycott, none of them should enter this parliament. They should be barred from visiting. There should be a list where they do not visit even as a visitor. What a joke they are doing. A man during such a crisis, you may like him, dislike him, he may be, you call any name. But on this occasion, have some shame, have some grace.
Okay. I hope the opposition leaders, sir, at least those who are boycotting it are listening to you, and maybe they will have a change of heart before the event starts tomorrow. Even Nikhil Jain has a wry smile on his face. I'm coming to you, Nikhil, but let me bring in our viewers. Sundar Rajan joining us from Chennai. Sir, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, sir. This is they say that it is a monarchy. It is for monarchy. It is, how can they say that? This is thing is. Whatever the Sengol is only for the rightness. That is for the justice and other things. Whether it is monarchy or anybody for that matter ruling the country, they should have that for ruling the country in a better way. That's all. So why should the opposition do like this? It is really they should be ashamed of doing all these things. And in fact, they are hiding the event which has happened in 1947 during the transfer of power. They are hiding the fact itself. It's the incident what has happened, they are hiding it. This is something ridiculous on their part.
Thank you. I understand the sentiment and perhaps the anger. But Nikhil, as you know, Rahul Gandhi was on a Bharat Jodo. Congress leaders couldn't stop talking about Rahul's public outreach. Can you spot the disconnect here? Congress party boycotting the event and people saying that this is not the right thing to do?
It is a country of 1.4 billion people who elect their representatives to go into the parliament, people from political parties, and it is more than 20 opposition parties that are boycotting this parliament inauguration that collectively probably represent more than half the Indian voters' mandate. So I'm sorry, but I'm not going to extrapolate the views of 4 individuals into the views of the entire country. And whether a certain individual thinks this is right or not, let's not forget what is being done here. It is the President of India who is a part of the parliament under Article 79 who's being sidelined from the entire event. It is essentially become a vanity project of the Prime Minister.
No, 1 minute.
And I don't like
Nikhil,
it when
Nikhil,
people
1
call
minute.
my
Nikhil,
Prime
I will
Minister
not allow you 1
wanting
minute.
to be
I will
a
not allow you
He's a
here
democratically
to
elected
dismiss,
Prime
dismiss the opinion of the viewer as, you know, random and bogus. You can use bogus for Sengol. No, 1 minute. But Nikhil, don't, let's not, you know, let's not be so full of ourselves that we are dismissing public opinion. It can be 4, even 2 or even 1, but they are as important as, you know, 20,000, 30,000, 3 lakhs, 30 lakhs if you want that number. So let's be careful in how we if you can choose not to answer it, but you know, this is not the right approach. Nikhil, I'm sorry, you know, the tone in which you are dismissing public opinion, and we are not filtering our calls. People are calling on the numbers that we're displaying. So
a country of 1.5 billion people.
I am not, I only asked you a question on the principle that, you know, Rahul Gandhi was on a public outreach program, Bharat Jodo.
Correct.
Is this the right message that he's sending? Here is a moment in history.
The President of India. The Congress party, Rahul Gandhi.
Do you remember what, do you remember the words used by Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary? Neha Joshi will remind you. Neha Joshi will remind you what Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary had said about the president that you are suddenly concerned about.
Pranesh, let's not go into a person's lack of knowledge of a language. He is not a native Hindi speaker. For him to not understand that a Rashtrapati, whether it is a woman or a man, is always called a Rashtrapati. And not
let Neha come in now. Nikhil, I'll come back to you for a response.
Pranesh, I think it is unfair to... Is it for me or...
there is no doubting the fact that, you know, here is a government, here is a regime that takes a lot of pride in India's glorious traditions. from restoring of the original Lion capital to installing the statue of Subhash Chandra Bose ji on the Kartavya Path. You know, everything that Prime Minister Modi and the government has done in the past 9 years is about decolonization of our past, present and future. And installation of the Sengol is another symbol of that. What is Sengol in the south is Dharm Dand in the north, and what it has traditionally signified, according to the traditional Indian Hindu ethos, is inclusivity. It's about transparency, accountability to the constituents. Those are the values that this Sengol represents. It's all documented. So, you know, what I don't understand is in their intolerance to anything that is remotely Hindu. These people have become opposed to anything Indian because, you know, you can't separate Hinduism from India. We are a dharmic country. You can't separate that. Symbolism has been an important part. What adorns our national flag? The Ashok Chakra. Are you opposed to that too? What adorns our constitution is an illustration from the Ramayana. Are you opposed to that too? So I think the opposition has gone so far, they have absolutely lost touch with the public sentiment. And we saw a classic example of that. Here were viewers, neutral viewers who were calling in to express their outrage. You know, we are talking about the new parliament of India. It's a symbol of aspirations for, you know, billions of Indians.
Okay, Nikhil does not agree with what you are saying, Neha, but we'll go to him to get a response. Our viewers are also patiently holding on to their phone lines. Viewers, we're taking a quick break because we have to take one and then come back, take your calls and answers from both Neha and Nikhil. Stay with us. Welcome back. Our viewer Balaji is on the line from Bengaluru. Sir, good evening.
Good evening, Pranesh. It's a great pleasure to have Indian culture coming into limelight. Secondly, with regard to the opposition boycott, first they boycotted president, and she was not elected unanimously. She was elected representative. And thirdly, you just see Congress people, they're so much agitated because Gandhi family is not listed in that this thing. If tomorrow you put Sonia Gandhi's name, see, you just see Congress will not boycott the inauguration.
Okay.
Thirdly, on what capacity Sonia Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi inaugurated Chhattisgarh Assembly?
Let me put that to Nikhil. Nikhil Jain, 30 seconds of the show. Last words.
See, the opposition parties are representing the mandate of more than half the people of the country. Some individual viewers, I'm not dismissing their opinion perfectly, that they are right to have it, may have a problem against it, but that is not to say how much constitutional impropriety and breaking of protocol.
Would you like to answer the last question that he asked, Mr. Balaji, the question that he posed about Chhattisgarh Assembly and the Secretariat? Nikhil?
The transfer of power from the British, it was given to Jawaharlal Nehru in a private ceremony at his house, and now it is finding place in the Parliament of India, in the Parliament of a Republican democracy. Something that has been used by the Chola kings is an important part of India's civilizational history.
It was so important that it was kept in a museum described as Nehru's walking stick, Nikhil. So, you know, it's all there. You know, it was written in black and white, PM Nehru's walking stick. What more does one need to add here? I thank both of you, Neha Joshi, Nikhil Jain. Out of time on this one, but I'm sure we'll have enough time to discuss this as we go along. But thank you for joining us. Viewers, thank you for always connecting, sharing your thoughts on Times Now.